What's going on, guys? Welcome back to NolanTCG, and we are still in a new format, so I decided to do something a little bit interesting. And I decided to put together 2021 Beatdown, I guess. That's probably what you can call this. I call it Monkey Madness because it's just small brain, big monster, attack, go bro. But yeah, ultimately, this is effectively just a reincarnation of Beatdown. You're playing as big stuff as possible to just like slam through your opponent and do 8,000 damage in a turn. Overall, the deck's like, it performs fine. It does lose to like decks that have multiple ways to interact with you. Be that like back row and monsters. That's the only time really things get difficult. Also, it loses to really bad hands really badly. But before we get started on this deck profile, as always, please remember to drop down below and hit that subscribe button if you are new here, because we are always happy to have new people to the channel. And let's get on into the deck profile for this one. Okay, so starting us off, we have, of course, 3 copies of the Big Danger. That is 3 copies of Bigfoot. 3,000 attacks over. That's effectively the thought behind this. Same with the next one. 3 copies of Danger Thunderbird. 2,800 attacks over. These are like the good rank 8 package though for Danger, so you can use it to get into your extra deck and toolbox that a little bit. There were times where like the pops of these guys did come up. However, like it's not really something you want to do. You want to be like slamming them on board, drawing more cards. You want to kind of have other stuff take advantage of the fact that you can pop, I guess. After that, we are playing then 3 copies of Gizmek. Brings itself back repeatedly. Gets you a rank 8 body. You can play with that. Also is still pretty beefy at 2450. Attacks over a lot of stuff. Next off after that, we've got 3 copies of Chaos Levy. Again, 3,000. You can drop it on board. You won't normally use its effects because you want it to be able to attack. If you go through like your full combo in trying to get to like an access code pop, typically you'll be able to just slam this down on board and hopefully that's enough to get for game. After that, we've got, of course, 1 copy of Prankatops because it is only at 1. Again, big body, slam it on board. The basic theory is the same behind every single card in this deck of this card is big, you put it on the field, you attack. This also does get the pop though. Then after that, we've got 1 copy of the Arch Nemesis Echaltos. So you have like a cute thing where if you're forced to go first and you have this, you can lock your opponent out of summoning. That's typically what you want to be using this for. Or again, 3,000, big beat stick, attack direct. Basic concept. That's all this is. It's small brain, big monkey attack. Then we got a lot of kaijus, so we're going to try and really kaiju through the opponent's board and keep going. We're playing 2 copies of Thunder King. It does just give you diversity in your typing, so you don't need the Jizukiru, because then you can kind of lose a little bit more to Ice Dragon's Prison. 1 copy of Radian. It's just the Dark. Again, gives you some diversity in your kaiju lineup, in your mid-range kind of kaijus. 1 Gadala. Outseer Barrier Statue, which is a thing, as well as just kind of, again, good one. It's an 8 as well, which plays into the pack that we play trade in. Then after that, we've got 1 Sticky String Kaiju. Smaller diversity, so you're not just playing 3 Gamma Seal. You want to kind of have some bit of a mix, as apparently there's a dog that's just decided to wander in here. Get rid of that. And then we've got 2 copies of Gamma Seal. Finish off our lineup. Again, 8's good for your trade-in targets. Also, it's just the smallest one, so you don't mind drawing. Or you kind of want to draw this one, which is why you're playing 2 of it. You want to play 2 of the big, 2 of the small, and diversity in your middles. Then we get into one of our primary normal summons, and surprisingly, it's Plague Spreader Zombie. We're not playing Marju, and we're not playing the Lila, or the Luna, the Fairy Tale card. You can choose to play that as your primary normal summon. However, I feel as though, in the way this deck's designed, normal summoning a hand trap is actually really, really good. It gets you through to your access code play, which is why we're playing just the 1 copy of Plague Spreader for the access code play, or it doesn't matter if we normal summon it. But then 3 copies of Effect Veiler after that. The 3 copies of Effect Veiler, if you're playing an opponent that has a very spell-heavy deck, or you do go through the spells of yourself, just normal summon Effect Veiler with another card is the full OTK, so you don't need to stress too much about not being able to get to an access code. After that is the last of our hand traps. It's 3 copies of Dimension Shifter. So I feel as though Dimension Shifter was probably the worst card in this main deck. Overall, yes, it does like completely shut down your opponent and they just can't play a lot of the time if you activate Shifter. But also sometimes when it comes back to you, you can't just kill them because you're not playing like a pure Manju build. because you're playing a lot of stuff that does require some kind of interaction, either with the graveyard or they're going to prop off effects that will allow you to regain resources later. I found the shifter hurt a lot, especially like getting through your access code play was rough. Also, resolving Leviair was just like not going to happen. So it was good in the fact that it can floodgate out a lot of stuff, but bad in the case that it sometimes stops you from then being able to kill your opponent. That then does get us into our spell lineup. We are 3 copies of the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. Of course, this is your board wipe of choice for monsters. You're just essentially trying to slam this down, clear the board, put out 2 Kaijus. Hopefully, if you can then go into access code combo after that, you should just be able to win. Then we've got 3 copies of Lightning Storm. This is to deal with back row. Back row bad, Lightning Storm good. Also can deal with monster lineups, so it's a bit versatile. It feels a bit rough to draw this in the mid game, but oh well. After that, next, we've got 3 copies of Pot of Desires. We're playing 3 of all the big stuff, so consistency is key. 3 Desires gets us that extra resources that we need to keep playing. And then 3 copies of Trade-In, just to kind of dig through our deck a little bit, get a lot of stuff going. If you manage to see multiple trade-ins through your lines of play, it's very, very good, as long as you have, of course, the targets. If you don't have targets, you've lost. But yeah, overall, consistency, gets you draws, it can prop up your dangers. Good card. Okay, next off we have our extra deck lineup. So this is actually surprisingly versatile for a deck you wouldn't think uses the extra deck. We do start off with our rank 8s, so we are playing the 1 Sanafond, just to try and floodgate out the extra deck, and the 1 Hope Harbinger. Again, just spell and trap negation. You'll typically go to this if you're going first. Yeah, like floodgate out, hopefully you win. Then we go into what we kind of play as our like Zeus kind of line. We play 1 copy of Galaxy Eye Cypher, 1 Cypher Blade Dragon, and 1 Full Armor Photon Dragon. Just gets big. This can crash with Dragoon if your Dragoon if they use the Dragoon negate and you didn't have a Kaiju to just get rid of it. You can just kind of plug away, clear board, do big damage, and then you can get into the Zeus. And then the Zeus, so hopefully will just control the game from there for you. Get you back into a situation where you can just go back into big monkeys, which attack, and then you win the game. Then we play 1 Synchro. You use this off your Effect Veiler and a level 8, hopefully. You go into Shen Shen. Just another floodgate that you can summon on your turn if you're going first, just to kind of make your life for your opponent just that little bit harder. Then we have our Link lineup. So we are playing 1 copy of Reproducus. You do need this to be able to lock out your opponent with the Arch Nemesis. 1 copy of Halka Fibrax. Of course, this gets you through your line with your Selene. Your other level 3 option, or Link 3 option, is your Unicorn. If you don't have a spellcaster for Selene, you just make the Unicorn. You typically don't need to discard off the Unicorn in this deck because the access code is going to take care of most things for you. Hopefully you've Kaiju'd your opponent at that point, so game should be coming shortly. But of course we do have the 1 copy of access code. Yeah, just can't be responded to. Banish, pop, clear board, attack. Then attack with something else that's big, because 5/3 typically plus something that's 27 or higher is just game. That's your 8,000 maths. Then we play 3 cards just because Crusadia. Maximus is from a different archetype. We're playing, of course, 3 Maximus targets. It's Nova, Entis, Macabre. You just want to scare your opponent out of playing that kind of package to threaten you. Yeah, punishes that. But that wraps us up here for the Monkey Madness deck profile. So if you do have any changes that you would recommend, make sure to comment those guys down below. I did also have, I think it was Loza recommended playing the Dragoblion package in the extra deck. I didn't honestly think of it, so that could be something you could check out. It does facilitate the 9k damage with the Numeron Dragon, so that is always an option that you could check out. But as always, I've been Ben from NolanTCG. We're stuffing up this entire outro, but have a good afternoon, everybody.